Our next speaker is Elaine Weber-Nelson. She is the new Executive Director of EA International Service Center, and she has more experience, training, and skills than we could possibly mention in a single day. She said I could make up some stuff like she rides elephants for Zura Shrine Circus, and she had quintuplet cheetahs, and oh, here she is, Elaine!
Well, that's a little intimidating.
A little bit lower.
That's great. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Terrific. Well, good morning and welcome to day 2.
Good morning, Elaine.
I want to thank all of you for your warm welcome to me in the past couple of months. I started working at EA in May, and it's been quite a flurry of activity from the beginning. In the past few months, EA members have graciously invited me to attend retreats, meetings, and convention planning sessions. You have reached out to me via email, phone, and mail. And I thank you for all your good ideas, your suggestions, and your assistance as I settle into my role in this organization. First, a bit of background on me. I understand our program because I've been a grateful member of Al-Anon for about the past 5 years. As I reflected on that yesterday, I realized that today is the 5th anniversary of the day that changed my life. 5 years ago, I'm not so sure you ought to be clapping for that part. 5 years ago today, I got a phone call from the police telling me that my husband had been arrested with a DUI. And that was the beginning of a very long journey. Al-Anon helped me figure my way through that journey. And so I understand this program. And I think it is an amazing program, and I'm honored to be able to lead the organization. I have seen how well that program has worked for me, and I believe that we have a responsibility to share our message of hope. After getting my graduate degree, I worked for a large corporation, as people who have graduate degrees tend to do, and I didn't like it. I transitioned into the nonprofit world about 20 years ago, and I look back on my professional career, and I used to think, I did a little of this, I did a little of that, didn't really know where I was going. I have come to understand that someone knew where I was going, and someone has been guiding me all these years. I was staff to 2 organizations in St. Paul to begin with in my nonprofit world, and then I moved into a consultant role, and I've been doing that for about the past 13 years. Along with consulting, I taught at the Carlson School of Management at the University of Minnesota. That's my graduate school alma mater. I was an adjunct professor in the marketing department for 15 years. 2 years ago, I stopped teaching and moved into consulting full-time. I'd always said when I started teaching, and again, it was kind of a fluke. I just had a second baby, I was working part-time. I knew a professor at Carlson who said, "Would you like to co-teach an evening class with me?" Let's see, I just had a second baby, I was working yeah, why not? Let's put that on top of it. And it became something that I loved. I can look at that as a happy accident, or I can look at it as a step in my journey. I prefer to think of it as a step in my journey. Throughout my teaching career, I said, when I don't want to be in the classroom anymore, I'm not going to be. And 2 years ago, I realized that I had kind of done what I wanted to do. I taught all the MBA classes and the BA classes at the Carlson School that I wanted to and was qualified to teach. And I was done. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And the first semester that I didn't go back was hard. Oh, I could bring this to my class. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not teaching a class anymore. But it was the right decision at the time because it opened new doors for me. So I stopped teaching and I went into consulting full time, and I love my clients. I still do that. Absolutely love my clients. Okay, absolutely love most of my clients. But what I found that I missed was a connection to an organization. As a consultant, you're always a bit on the outside. You've got a lot of expertise coming in, but you're not one of. And I decided that I missed that. I started to look to see what I might do, and this position came up on my radar. It's a good fit for me. I work for EA only 16 hours a week, which is probably going to make me crazy. But that's all our budget can handle right now. I continue my consulting as well, and I have, again, terrific clients, and I have to balance all of that. It makes for something of a crazy schedule, but I tend to be invigorated by being busy, and so I'm happy with it. I'm almost a born Minnesotan, and I was raised in the western suburbs of Minneapolis. I've lived in St. Paul since attending college at St. Thomas, and I have 2 high school children. I'm still not sure when they got to be high school age, because I'm pretty sure they're still 4 in my mind. I have a husband and a very stupid but very loving Labrador Retriever. My husband is a woodblock printer. If you don't know what woodblock printing is, you get an idea in your head, you carve out a piece of wood opposite of what the idea looks like. You lay ink on the wood and you put paper on it, and then for every color that you put on it, you do another carving, and on and on and on. I like to think that he's very talented. I'd like other people to think he's very talented. And he donated a print to our silent auction. I wonder whose idea that was. When I thought about which print I wanted him to donate, I chose one that he has titled Room to Breathe, because I thought it was really appropriate for this group. It's over in the hospitality room. Please go bid on it. I'm also a ferocious knitter, and I chose that word carefully. I am a ferocious knitter. And you can see a sample of my work on the auction tables as well. So, what are the next steps for EA as I see it? First, I want to acknowledge your EA staff, Bobby Joe, Mary, and Carlene. And I see Mary in the back. Without them, we would truly be lost, and I am very grateful to each of them for understanding and carrying out their roles so very well. I believe EA is hiding its light under a basket. This is a good, worthwhile program that works. We need to lift it up. As such, we need to focus some attention on sharing our message. Does what I just said raise a red flag for some of you? Where is that line we don't cross into promotion? Especially now that you know I have a background in marketing. The difference between attraction and promotion is that promotion is selling. Promotion is saying, use this, I guarantee it will work. Our message needs to be more along the lines of, this has worked for me, let me tell you about it. The bottom line is that no one can be attracted to a program they don't know exists. We need to tell the people that EA exists. To that end, my first priority is a redesigned website, since the internet is where people search for information today. Is that a good whistle, a bad whistle? I see the ISC as a resource to all groups worldwide, and the internet is the fastest, cheapest, and most comprehensive resource that we have so we can reach every person everywhere. It needs to be updated, made more user-friendly, and more adaptable than it currently is. Second, we need to begin now to help groups consider hosting conventions like this one. This is where everyone can come together, share their recovery, and celebrate where they are on this journey we call life. This year's program committee worked so very hard, and I think it has paid off. I am so grateful to each of them. for the service they have provided to EA as a whole this year. The trustees and the ISC can be a facilitator, a helper, and a guide for those interested in hosting future conventions. Next on the list to address is EA's financial state. I've worked with a lot of organizations around their fundraising efforts, and generally what I've found is two things. They don't tell people their value, and they don't ask people to support their mission. All anonymous programs are different from other nonprofits because of our 7th tradition of self-support. But the ISC can't be the resource it could be without the support of our membership. We need to tell people about the value of EA, and then we need to ask that they act on the value the organization brings into their lives through the financial support of it. Lastly, we need to relook at our literature. We need literature because there is a great potential for healing in telling the stories of recovery. We need to give more people a chance to be heard. We need more guides on how to run healthy meetings, how to share the message, and the like. We need to find ways to include our international community in the development process as well. We need easy-to-use materials, electronic and otherwise, to share the message. Maybe we need some new materials, maybe we need to update what we have, maybe what we have is just fine, but everything needs to be evaluated in the light of moving this organization forward, not living in the past. Organizational growth means growing our groups by adding members to existing groups and helping new groups form. We need to figure out what it will take to do that. Mostly, however, we need people like you who are willing to carry the message, willing to put information up on in your local areas, willing to write for the Connection or the Loop, willing to welcome newcomers or be sponsors, willing to plan retreats or conventions, willing to serve as trustee, delegate, group contact, or committee member. We need your thoughts, ideas, and talents. This is your organization, and it is a good one. Let's move forward together. Thank you.